Welcome back to another episode of PokeFang Unpack, where we unpack the latest news, updates, leaks, and rumors in the Pokemon TCG collecting hobby. Today, we are unpacking everything we know about the upcoming Pokemon Scarlet and Violet expansion set, Stellar Crown. Today, we get to take a look at every single card, including all of the special illustration rares and the illustration rares that are going to be in the upcoming English set, Stellar Crown, which is going to be released on September 13th, 2024. To kick things off, we're going to go through all of these special illustration rares in this set, starting with the Hydrapple special art rare from Stellar Miracle that we will definitely be getting in Stellar Crown. An absolutely beautiful card. This one really popped and stood out to me when I first saw it. We did talk about it a little bit in some of the other episodes here in the series. If you didn't watch episodes 1 through 3, that is okay. We're going to cover a lot of that stuff in today's video as it is the final update. Next on the list here, we have the Galvantula special illustration rare. Also looks beautiful. It's got lots of color. It pops. My only complaint about this card is that it's a little bit flat. It looks a little two-dimensional to me, and you'll see the same sort of style in the Terapagos EX that we're going to take a look at in just a few seconds. However, I do think they did a better job with that card. This card does look pretty fantastic. It's going to be a great chase card for anybody who is interested in the Joltik evolution line. One of the things that you'll notice about this card is the rainbow borders on it. So this holofoil pattern has a sort of rainbow-ish callback to the rainbow hyper rares that we used to get in the Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield eras. And the reason for this is because of the typing. You'll notice that this is not just a regular Terra type Pokemon. This is a Stellar Terra type Pokemon, which means that it does require a grass type, a lightning type, and a fighting type energy card in order to do this move here that does 180 damage. Unfortunately, my Japanese is not that great just yet, so I can't really read to you what's on the bottom here, but if you head over to pokebeats.com or justinbasil.com, you should be able to find translated versions of all of the cards that you see in the set that are not in English, although we do have a bunch of them in English. But we're going to move on now to the Darkspun EX, which the Pokemon actual Instagram, their official Instagram, did drop the English version of this design on their Instagram feed a couple of days ago. So I screenshotted that so we get a nice look of the English version of this Darkspun. It's not a stellar type. This is a regular special illustration rare. As you guys can see, there's no rainbow pattern on it, but it does look absolutely incredible. I love the artwork style on this. I love all the different food and things like that. I noticed that a lot of the art rares and special illustration rares in this set are going to have sort of a food theme to them. I don't think that that was actually intentional, but it certainly did play out that way. And I love that you can see all of the beautiful looking texture and things that are going on here. These textured cards really are just absolutely stunning, especially with this new sort of like micro sparkle pattern that they've been using as the background holofoil in the Scarlet and Violet era. And I'm a big dog person, so this is going to be a mega chase card for me. And again, in previous episodes, I did go into some of these artists' other artworks so you guys can see a little bit more of what they've done in the TCG. If you're interested in that, then definitely go back. I'm going to be doing more of that in upcoming videos as well, where we're looking at the artwork updates as we get new information for new sets. But yeah, beautiful artwork from Yu Nishida. Definitely going to be looking for this one as I'm opening up packs. Then we have the Terapagos EX, which we actually got to look at in English about a week ago when this dropped. So this is the card that I was talking about when I was talking about the Galvantula. So you can see the Galvantula right here, and it's, like I said, it's very two-dimensional. It has all of these patterns and sort of crystallized reflections and refractions of light and things like that. Same exact thing here going on with Terapagos, but I really think they did Terapagos so much more justice with this artwork. It looks absolutely stunning. There's like these concentric circles that sort of draw you in. There's contrast, there's layering. Everything about this artwork looks fantastic. I cannot wait to see what it actually looks like in texture. They did release this version of it here, which is just the standard PNG or JPEG flat version without the texturing on there like we saw with the Darkspun. I would love to see what this card looks like with all of that beautiful texturing and sparkling going on. Again, this is a Stellar type Pokemon, Stellar Terra type Terapagos EX. That's a mouthful, but it does have that rainbow sort of background hollow pattern there and does require those unique set of different energies as well. And this is the last of the Pokemon EX special illustration rares that we are getting in this set. And we're moving on now to the special illustration supporters, starting with the Briar special art rare right here, which absolutely looks fantastic. I can't wait to see what this thing looks in person, because I feel like some sort of a scan or maybe a high resolution photo, it's not quite capturing all of the detail and the contrast that I think we can expect from the final card, but it does look absolutely gorgeous. I was really hoping all along throughout this series that we were going to get a Briar special illustration rare, and of course, here we are. We're getting it. We're getting two supporter SIRs in this set. It looks like she has possibly the Pokemon Scarlet or Violet book right here, which sort of tells the tale of the Terapagos. You can see all of the different lens flares and chromatic aberrations and sort of prism effects that are being cast across her and across the frame as the light is coming in right through the little Terapagos stone right there. Again, another banger chase card from this set. I really think Stellar Crown is shaping up to be one of the best sets in the Scarlet and Violet block that we have gotten so far. I really cannot wait to start ripping packs of this set. The one we were all hoping we were going to get as a special illustration rare, and that is the Lacey special illustration rare right here. This is a beautiful looking card. I love the storytelling in this one. It's got the entire Elite Four from the Blueberry Academy League. Lacey is, of course, making her trademark little arm move here. We got Crispin over here, the fire trainer. We've got some sandwiches and food going on over here. Like I said, there's a food theme across a lot of these artworks. It seems like it was unintentional because it's all different artists that did it. Then we've got Drayton over here, our dragon trainer, of course, fast asleep during this argument, and you could barely just see her right here. They really did our girl Amorous dirty. She's basically cropped completely out of the shot. You know, like, you're featuring Lacey, obviously. This is Lacey's card. This is not a Friends in Blueberry or something like that. But it is interesting that of the four, we do get Amorous cropped out. But either way, it's an absolutely gorgeous artwork, and I am really looking forward to getting this one as well. So, like I said, that is all 6 of the special art rares or special illustration rares that we will be seeing. I was really hoping for 3 special art rare Pokemon and 3 special art rare supporter cards, but it looks like we just got 2 supporters, and you know what, with the Pokemon that they ended up choosing, I'm okay with it. I do think that they would have done a lot better in terms of building hype for this set if they had done the Lapras EX. Pokemon Company rarely gives us 100% of what we actually want to see out of these sets. We also got to see every single art rare that is coming in Stellar Crown now. There was a couple of missing spots in the last video, and these are finally filled now that we have the art rares for Turtonator. Not my favorite Pokemon design. It is a very cool artwork, but in terms of the Pokemon design itself, something about Turtonator's face always just kind of creeps me out. I don't know, that's just a personal thing. I'm sorry if you like Turtonator, but it is a really nice artwork. Metatite, which is okay, you know, it's got a Chatot in the background, which is kind of cool. I love when they feature other Pokemon in the artworks itself. Looks like Metatite is trying to meditate, but the Chatot is possibly just irritating it, because you can see it's got the one eye open here. It's like, just maybe this Chatot is just making all kinds of noise, singing and disturbing its meditation session. And we finally have a nice cleaned up version of this Archaludon art rare that is at some sort of a festival or market. Lots of kids are gathered around it, checking it out, probably thinking about how cool it is, 'cause it's like basically a transformer. It's a very interesting Pokemon design. I assume that it's supposed to look like a bridge. I feel like I've seen it depicted as both a bridge and what looks like a backwards staple remover. It's a very strange Pokemon. I think in the last video, all we had was a screenshot of this, so now we have a nice cleaned up art version. These 3 new art rares are kind of funny because they do feel almost like they were drawn by the same person, but they are in fact 3 separate artists, just with similar styles, which is kind of funny that we got those 3 last in the set of reveals here as we were unpacking everything over the last month or so. So now that we know what all of these special illustration rares are going to be in this set, we also know what all of the illustration rares or the art rares are going to be in Stellar Crowns, starting off with the Bulbasaur right here, which came from the Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise special deck boxes, I think, that came out in Japanese maybe a year ago at this point. Each one of those decks did also come with an illustration rare of the pre-evolution of those Kanto starters, including this Bulbasaur right here and this Squirtle, and the Charmander that we actually got, I believe it was in the Obsidian Flames ETB as the promo. So these cards are sort of split up across different sets now. In English, one of them we got as a promo, 2 of them we're getting in this set, but still pretty stoked to be getting those. And I do think that the chase value of these cards is going to be pretty high in the market, because we have been seeing similar sort of price activity happen with the Eevee in the Twilight Masquerade set that just came out. That card, last I checked, was like almost $70. And then we have the Magikarp in Paldea Evolved. Also, literally, prices just shot through the roof. I don't find them particularly hard to pull those cards, but there's something about them. There's just a really high demand for those cards. I could see that happening here with the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle as well. Unfortunately, our boy Charmander, though, is going to have to sit as a relatively low market price promo from those ETBs, unless, of course, you have the Pokemon Center exclusive version, which we'll also talk about a little bit later in this video. Then we have the Ledian art rare right here. We have Lileep, which is pretty cool. We've talked about a lot of these in the last video, so I'm going to skim across some of them. We got the Raboot as well for any of those Cinderace evolution line fans. I do like this Raboot artwork, but it does seem really washed out, so I am interested to see what it actually looks like in person, because I'm curious how our eyes are actually going to pick up all the detail that is in these artworks. Same thing goes for this Crabominable. Also, very cool card. I love Crabominable, especially love saying it. However, the artwork itself is very, very washed out. It's like almost probably an 80% white card. Then we have the Joltik, which is our little electric tick spider hybrid. One of my favorite Pokemon designs, basically in all of the Pokemon that are out there. I think it's absolutely adorable, and the art rares that we've been getting for it in Scarlet and Violet block have been absolutely precious, as well as some of the ones that we've got in Sword and Shield trainer galleries. But there's our pre-evolution Galvantula right there. Then we have this Zorora, which is very cool artwork. Got some awesome like sort of kinetic energy anime speed lines going on here with some pretty insane electric particles. I don't even know what to call all this stuff here. This looks very cool. It's almost like weirdly off-brand for Pokemon. It's got this sort of cartoonish halftone effect right here. If you look really, really closely at that, you can see that it's got a comic book sort of style. It really does stand out from the rest of the cards in the art rares. There's our Metatite that we looked at already, our Milcery, which we talked about a little bit in our last video in terms of this artist sort of trying a different art style, and I think it's absolutely adorable. I really love that one. Then we have this Gulpin right here, swallowing an entire cake. Not exactly my favorite Pokemon to get as an illustration rare. I would have rather seen Carnivine get an illustration rare. I think that would have been pretty awesome, but you know, it is what it is. We got this Gulpin. It's a pretty fun artwork, but the background is a little bit plain, and I touched on that in the last video. This is a Jerky artwork. The artist's name is Jerky, and they tend to do some very, very simplified artworks. And of course, we have the Archaludon that we just talked about. And that is it for the 13 illustration rares that we're expecting to see in Stellar Crown. You'll notice that there's one card actually missing, and that is the Noctowl. So we're not getting that as a pullable card in Stellar Crown. We're getting that as an ETB promo. We weren't sure how many ultra rare supporters we were actually going to get in Stellar Miracle / Stellar Crown, but now we know we are getting a Crispin, a Lacey, a Kofu, and a Briar. Now, I knew that we were going to get a Briar because we saw the English version of that released, I think, earlier last week. And being that there's such a small number of supporters in this set, I was pretty confident that we were going to be getting Lacey, Crispin, and Briar. I wasn't sure if we were going to get Kofu, but now that we've seen that artwork drop for Stellar Miracle, we know that we're getting it. So that's 4 ultra rare supporters in this set. And since we have seen Briar in English, we know that that is card number 163. And being that we have also seen Darkspun in English at number 169, we know because it is Psychic type that we have to get the Galvantula before it. So that's going to end up being 168. And then 167 for the Hydrapple, because that's going to have to come before it as well in the set numbering. So with Hydrapple being number 167, we know that the last full art trainer before they go into the special illustration rares is going to have to be number 166. So I'm not sure what the order is going to be for these full art supporters here, but we do know that number 163 is Briar, and then somewhere between 163 and 166 is going to be Crispin, Kofu, and Lacey. So being that Briar is 163, and our last illustration rare right here is going to be number 155. Then we know that our first full art Pokemon is going to be the number 156 with the Hydrapple EX. These have all been released in Stellar Miracle, so we know that we're getting them in Stellar Crown with the exception of these two right here. Those are a little bit confusing, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But you'll also see that rainbow border, not just on the special illustration rares, but also the full arts or the ultra rares of these Pokemon. So we have the Cinderace EX as the Stellar Terra type. All of the ones that have that Stellar typing are going to have that rainbow background. I guess whether or not it's a ultra rare or a special illustration rare. So that's pretty cool. I'm also curious if we're ever going to see stellar type illustration rares, just regular art rares with the stellar typing. That would be pretty interesting. But we already knew that we're going to get a Terapagos special illustration rare. And the other stellar type Pokemon that are in the set, we had the Cinderace, the Lapras, and the Galvantula. So we knew that the other stellar type special illustration rare was going to be either Cinderace, Lapras, or Galvantula. And like I said, a lot of people were really rooting for an SIR Lapras with the stellar typing. I can honestly almost picture it in my head how absolutely stunning that would be. But they went with Galvantula, and that's fine. We have our Darkspun EX full art. We know that we're getting that card because we're getting it in a SIR also. And usually if we get an EX, we get a full art EX. And if we get a special illustration rare, that usually means we also got a full art EX. So this one's sort of proven out from end to end at this point. But that leaves these two guys right here, the Metacham and the Orthworm. We're only going to get one of those because we have up to 160. We've got 162. There's only room for one card here at number 161, so I'm not entirely sure which of these two cards is going to get cut from the set Stellar Crown. I feel like it could be the Orthworm. That's really the only thing that we don't know for sure yet, though. Then we have our 3 A-Spec cards already revealed in this set, so that's going to be the Great Tree A-Spec, the Sparkling Crystal A-Spec, and the Deluxe Bomb as well. We did cover those in a previous video, so I'm not going to talk too much about them, but that is all 3 of the A-Specs we're expecting to get in Stellar Crown. And one thing we have actually been missing from every single episode up to this point has been the gold cards, the hyper rares that are actually going to be in Stellar Crown. We hadn't seen any Stellar Miracle gold cards revealed until very, very recently. Now we know that they're going to be Terapagos, Area Zero, Underdepths, and Bravery Charm. And very interesting choice to go with the Stellar Terra type as a gold card. So now we can actually see what that's going to look like with the different colors. But the Bravery Charm is a weird one because I don't actually think Bravery Charm is actually in this set. I think it was maybe in Paldea Evolved or one of those sets from earlier Scarlet and Violet, but we haven't actually seen this card in Stellar Miracle. I'm pretty sure it's not in there at all. So it's interesting that we're getting this card right here, being that there is no regular version of it in the set to pull. I did put together a price guide for how to get the best bang for your buck opening up Stellar Crown in episode 1 of this series. However, I am just gonna skim through these slides real quick in case you guys wanna just put this in slow motion or maybe pause on one of these in case you just wanted to see what the per pack averages are for each one of these products that's coming out starting in September on the 13th when the set actually comes out. If you don't want to pay full MSRP for your Pokemon products, you can head over to xpcollect.com, who has some incredible deals and incredible prices on English Pokemon sets. That's where I get all of my English products from. Also on TikTok at xpcollect. And if you're looking to pick up the Japanese set Stellar Miracle, I highly suggest you check out Cali Pokehouse, also Cali Pokehouse on TikTok, or pokene.com. I also get products from there, and they actually sell single packs if you don't actually want to buy full boxes. I don't have any affiliate codes for any of these shops, but I do know that they sell on TikTok, which often offers some incredible deals on top of the already great prices. I'm just sharing this with you because I had a hard time finding product when I first got back into the hobby, and these are the best places that I found to buy from. So hopefully these places can save you guys some money as you enjoy the Pokemon collecting hobby. Each one of these unpacked videos takes me hours of research to prepare, so if you found any part of it valuable and you just wanted to say thanks, please go ahead, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to join the fan gang if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with one of your collecting buddies. It really helps to grow the channel, and seeing your name down in the comments really motivates me to keep making better content week after week. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and as always, happy haunting, fan gang. Peace.